If we want to build a sustainable business, we need to deliver an exceptional experience. And one way we can do that is through custom client portals. One seamless, organized space where we can manage all of our project communication, resources, and tasks. Now, if you've been following this channel for a while, you know we're big fans of Notion over here. I think it's an incredibly powerful tool you can use to build your entire operating system. But we need to talk about the elephant in the room. Yeah, we see you, buddy. Right now, Notion doesn't offer granular database permissions. This means that you can't have one single master task database and use that to share information with all of your different clients securely, especially if they need the ability to upload their own data into their portal. Now, you can build a secure portal with Notion. I've created a number of videos and templates showing you how you can do this, but it does require a little bit more manual work. And having worked with a number of growing teams now as a business process consultant, it's clear to see that it's not always the most viable or efficient solution. A tool should work for you, not the other way around. That's where today's sponsor, Copilot, comes in. Copilot is an easy to use, all in one client management solution that directly solves Notion's biggest challenge, offering a secure, branded, and scalable client portal solution perfect for businesses that need more control over client access and interactions. If you love having your entire system in Notion, that is amazing. But if you are running into some of these frustrations, Copilot might be a better fit for you. We're going to start with a quick overview of Copilot so you can see what it's capable of, but then we're going to go step by step and build out an entire client management system together. So by the end of this video, you'll be all set up and ready to launch today. When you first log into Copilot, you'll see your sidebar navigation on the left. And here's what's great. You can manage all of your clients directly from here. Click on your CRM to create a company, and then you can add all of the clients or individuals associated with that company. Now, not only is this helpful for organization, but it also gives you more control when sending messages, sharing files, assigning forms, or setting sidebar permissions. You can do all of this at either company level or client level. Click into any company or client to see everything related to them. Messages, files, contracts, it's all here. This is an internal CRM, so only you and your team can access it. And even then, you can control which team members have access to which clients. The notification tab underneath provides a singular timeline of all activity within your company. And under that, we have automations allowing you to set up simple two-step automations within your Copilot account. Now, this might seem very basic, but you can also connect with Zapier, make use of webhooks if you're comfortable with more advanced automations as well. Speaking of tools, if we look at this middle section in our navigation, we'll see apps. Apps are essentially the building blocks that make up your client portal experience. By default, Copilot have created apps in here that most of us will need to deliver a great client experience, but we can always take this a step further by integrating our own tools as additional apps. And the best part is that granular permissions apply to apps too. You can decide which clients have access to which apps. This means that every client gets a customized experience and you keep everything centralized in one place. This is where Copilot really stands out. With granular permissions, automations, and full customization options, you have the flexibility to build a client portal that works exactly as you need it to. Now, if you've made it this far and you're thinking, yes, this is exactly what I've been looking for, then I invite you to take a moment, grab your favorite drink, do a big old death stretch, and click the link in the description to sign up for a free 14-day trial. Because now what we're going to do is build this out from scratch together so that by the end of this video, you could be all set up and ready to launch today. Now, most people on this channel are not business process consultants, but a lot of you are website designers, and most of us are service providers in some capacity. So I'm going to set this up as a website design agency so that I can make it as relevant as possible. And as a bonus, everything that I use to build out this client portal, so everything from my brand assessment to my web design contract and the various messages I send, I've included those all in a Copilot starter kit that you can access in the description, just to help you execute this with as much ease as possible. Okay, let's get started. To begin, we're going to go to Copilot and start a trial. We can then create our account by signing in with Google or our work email. So I'm going to choose work email. We can then follow the guided onboarding sequence, answering each question as we go. When you first log in, you'll see your sidebar navigation on the left. On the right, you'll see a welcome message, your onboarding steps. And what's great here is that just by completing these steps, you're going to receive $100 credit. Now, underneath that, you'll see that you do get some workspace analytics once you've added 10 clients. And then scrolling down, you also have access to a number of resources. Before we go ahead and create a test client, we're just going to select settings in our sidebar and make sure that our workspace is set up correctly. At the top, we have our personal profile settings. You can add an image if you like. You can adjust your notification preferences. And then under workspace settings, we have this general tab. And if we go through this, we've got our company name, country and region, and then we have our portal settings. So here you can select whether you want to send clients email notifications in an uninvited status, meaning you've added them into your CRM, but you haven't invited them into the portal. Do you still want to be able to send them an invoice, contract, share a file, etc.? So I'm going to turn this on. Allow client users to directly sign up. So on your portal page, you can either have it so only current clients that you have added into your system can log in, or you can allow clients to create an account for themselves. Now, I'm going to turn this on and we'll see why later in the video. We then have some options for enabling companies and the default channels for clients with companies. Clients is kind of the individuals within the company. So you could choose if you add this on, and then your CRM will be broken down into companies and then clients. See which tab you want to show first. I'm going to select company channels and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. And then whether you want to allow client users to invite team members, you could toggle this on or off. I'm just going to keep it as it is just now. Whenever you make a change, make sure you select update in the top right hand corner. Scrolling down, you could choose whether you want to allow sign in through Google. So I've marked this as on. And then we have some more authentication steps if you want to take further steps to protect the security of you and your clients and their accounts. And then we can add our Google Analytics. I'm not going to go through that step in today's video, but you could add your ID in here and track those metrics. Under domains, you'll see here I've got my Copilot domain, but I can also add my own custom domain. So here you would just add in your main domain URL, select your registrar, because that's going to give you instructions on how to do this. And then you can choose what you want your subdomain to be. So I think mine's is portalbusinessops.com. Now, I'm not going to walk through that in a lot of detail in today's video, but if you want me to create a separate one, let me know in the comments and I'll go ahead and do that. Then under team, as you can see with the advanced plan, you can add team members. So I'm going to select invite user and we'll add our team member in. We'll call her Anna Prentice. And if we look at role, there's this little information tab that shows you the difference between an admin role, where they have access to pretty much everything, or if they have a staff role, which means that they cannot see any clients unless we've assigned them. So I'm going to change this to staff here, select invite. Right now, she has full access. If we click on these three dots, when we have an advanced plan, we could change client access to limited. Now, I'm going to show you what that looks like in my official Copilot account, just so you've got an idea. See here, I'm in my Copilot account, and here I can click on Anna, change client access and change this to limited, and then I could specify the clients or companies that Anna has access to. Then I would just hit save. and we'll go back on over to our trial site. Then if we select payout account, we can then connect our bank to ensure we can get paid. Now, one thing to note here is the currency of your bank account will be used for billing clients. So for me, I typically charge in US dollars, but when I'm connecting my bank in Copilot, it means that I have to charge in British pounds. Not too big a deal. The client can pay in whatever their native currency. This connects through Stripe, but that's just something to take note of, especially if you're like me and you work with multiple currencies. Then, if we select API, again, this is an advanced feature, but if you're comfortable using API keys and webhooks, that is possible with Copilot. And then plans is payment plans. Now, I've got a whole section on this at the end, so we're going to skip over this for now. I'll leave a timestamp in the description if you want to access that first. Now that we're back in the main dashboard, we're going to select customization, and this is where we can brand our portal. So under brand name, this doesn't have to be our legal business name. It's also the name that appears at the top of the portal. Mine's is quite long, so I'm going to change this to just say design portal. We can then upload our image assets. What's really nice is Copilot have included the image dimensions. So if you're using something like Canva, you can just input those in and ensure it's the right size. So I'm going to upload my square icon to begin. Then I'll upload my logo. This square login image is what you see when you go to sign into the portal. And you'll see here you can always crop it if needed. And I'll just add my social sharing image in as well. Scrolling down, I'll add my brand color. So I've made my sidebar background this sort of beige off white color. My text is off black. And then I have this sort of tan color for my accent. For font, I'm going to change this to Manrope. So I'll just search for M. There we go. And then for metadata, this is if we want our portal to be surfaced in search engine results. So I'll just add in my title and description there. And then if we scroll down, you can always enable client branding. So if they want to upload their own logo and brand name and make the portal feel their own, you can select this on. I'm going to keep it off for now. And as you see at the bottom here, if you want a white label solution, you can achieve that with Copilot's advanced payment plan. So we'll select update, confirm, and once everything looks good, we can start building out our CRM. We are now in our company CRM, and because we have enable companies turned on, we have two different tabbed views. So this first one, we've got a list of all of our companies and when they were created. And then under clients, we have a list of all the individuals that belong to those companies, their current status, and when they were added into our system. And once again, this is not only helpful for organization purposes, but it becomes useful when we're sending messages or sharing files. So we can distinguish whether we want to send a message to only Jane Doe or if we want to send a message to the entire company at Rocket Rides. It becomes a sort of filter, and we can add more of those in our CRM by adding in custom properties. So if we click on Jane Doe just now, you'll see this brings up all of the messages, files, contracts, forms, and invoices associated with Jane. On the right, we can see her user details. So we've got her image, her name, email address, when she joined, how much she has spent, so lifetime value, her last login. And we have this property section, a payment information if she's got payments methods on file, and then any active subscriptions. Now, these are collapsible toggles. We want to pay attention to this properties section right now. We only have company here, but we can always add additional properties in as well. And these again become useful when we want to set granular permissions. So I'm going to go ahead and add a few different custom properties. Because this is a website design company, I might want to access their website URL, login, and password for easy reference. So for URL, I'm just going to select this property, call this website, and that has added that property in. Then I'm going to add another one. This time I'm going to select text and we'll call this login. And then another one, again, using text, we'll call this password. and hit save. Now, this is more for tracking important information and making it really easy for me to access their website when I need to. But thinking about those granular permissions, I'm going to use tags for those properties. So this is an option at the bottom here. And the first one I'm going to do is stage. So what stage they're at in their customer journey. I'll hit save, and then all I have to do is add some different tags in. So the first one I'm going to add is community and hit create. Now, if you want to change the colors or the labels of any of these, all you have to do is click the three dots and you've got a few colors to choose from. You could change the label or delete any that you don't need. I'll add a few more in. So now I have community, lead, onboarding, active, offboarding, and past client. I'm also going to add another to tag the service that or services that this client has signed up for. And here I have one page website, custom website, commerce website, and then maintenance, which is an ongoing subscription. Now, I might want to add a couple of others, such as tech stack. The other one I like to add is lead source. Not so much for filtering, but just for being able to track where leads are coming from or offer incentives to pay it forward. Now I have all my custom properties set up, and as we go through this build, you'll see where those come into play when it comes to setting permissions. So I'm going to come back out of that for now. Now we're going to go ahead and set up our first test client. We have some examples here, but we can't log into those accounts to experience the client portal. So by adding a test client, we can see exactly what they're experiencing. To do that, we'll hit create, and you'll see here you can create a company or a client. We're going to create a company. I'll call this last minute supplies. And then under clients, I'm going to select to create a new client. So we've got just in case here, and I'll hit save and then select create. There's two ways that we can invite Justin to our portal. We can either share the invite link if we copy this and paste it in a new window. This is what Justin is going to see, and he could set a password and activate an account this way, or we can send an email invitation. If we're not quite ready to invite Justin in yet, we can always close this out. And if we go to clients, we'll see that Justin is in here, but he's not invited. To change this at any time, we would click on the three dots here, invite client, and you'll see here it brings up this pop-up again. So this time we will send an email invitation, and this is what Justin is going to see. All he has to do is click accept invite. And again, he'll be prompted to set a password and activate his account. So we'll select activate. Justin is now in our client portal that we've branded out for him. There's this basic welcome message that he'll see, and we can customize this a little bit later on. And then he has access to all of these different apps down the side. So we've got messages, files, contracts, forms, billing, and our help desk. If Justin clicks on settings, he'll also be able to go through and customize his account, add his team if we've set that up for him to do so. If not, he's just going to be able to view his team, and he can also set a payment method as well. Now, if we look at the internal side of our CRM, we can now see that Justin is now an active client in our portal. Now, this is how you manually add clients, but you can also import clients in bulk via a CSV file. To do that, you would export a CSV from your current CRM, whether it's Notion, Airtable, wherever. And then under this create button, under the drop down, you would select import, and it will ask you to import your data. It will aim to map each of the properties. You can also manually do that or edit that by clicking in here. If you have the direct sign up option turned on, you can also click down here, copy this invite, and it will take people to this sign up page. We'll use this method later in the video to offer a free lead magnet and potentially upsell them to paying clients, all within our portal. For now, our CRM is configured, so let's move on to app configuration. Let's start with our default apps, and then we'll have some fun customizing our own additions. The Messages app offers one inbox for all client communications. You'll see here we have some company threads with our welcome messages, but we can always add a new message by clicking on the three dots at the top here. And you'll see here we can create a new channel or we can send a direct message. Now, I have sent Justin this message at company level, which means any member of that company is going to receive the same welcome message. I can click in here and create a channel just for Justin. So I'll select Justin here, hit create. Now I have a message thread one-on-one with Justin, and I could click in here and say, "Hi Justin, how's it going?" Hit send. Now, if we log into Justin's account, you'll see he has this one notification next to the messages tab. He can now click in and respond directly. And we can go back and forth through our messages channel. And here's what's great. Let's say that I send Justin a message, but he isn't signed into his portal at this time. Justin is going to receive that email, and instead of having to log into his portal, he can respond directly from here. So we get to have one inbox for all of our communications without going in and out of email, but we're still meeting our clients where they're at so they can respond through their inbox or within their client portal. Now, let's say we want to send a mass message out to a few of our clients. We can click the three dots, select mass direct message, and then here we would select who we want to send this message to. So we can select all, or we can select individual companies. Again, all clients of that company will receive the message, or we can select individual clients. So I'm going to say select all, and maybe the message I write is quick note to say we'll be out of office between these dates. Feel free to continue sending messages. We'll make sure to catch up on our return. Now, if I select send, we can see it's gone out to each company, and of course, the companies and clients can respond accordingly. Now, with all of these apps, you will want to customize the settings. To do that, we're going to locate app setup under preferences, select this, find the app that we want to customize, in this case, messages. So we'll select edit. And here we can customize our messages app. We can rename it to something else like chat, conversations. We can change up the icon. You'll see here, this is where we can set whether we send email notifications or not. If we turn this off, then users will have to log in to view message contents. So I like to keep this on. And then we can also customize a welcome message. So you saw that welcome message that we sent to Justin. We can always turn this off, or we can customize it further. You can also choose who the sender is. Now, by default, it's going to say hello in the person's first name. Here, we can paste in our own message. So I've just said, we're glad you're here. Use the navigation on the left for quick and easy access. If you have any questions, feel free to send a message. Now, if we scroll down, this is where it gets really interesting. We can set the visibility of this app. So we can decide who sees this app in their sidebar. Right now, it's visible to all clients, but if I select edit, I can customize this either to show it to everyone, to show it to no clients. So if this was an internal app, that's where that would be useful. Or we could select custom visibility. So if we select custom visibility now, you'll see that we can say show if client is, and we can select specific clients. We can also select by company, but you'll see here these custom properties that we set up in our CRM now come into play, and we can set granular permissions based on set criteria. So we could say that stage is or stage includes, and we can select the tags that apply. So if I didn't want to show this option to everyone, I could always just customize it to certain criteria. And you'll see here, you could select multiple tags if you want, and you can do includes or does not include. You can also add or rules. So this is where you can really customize which apps you're showing to which clients. For now, I'm just going to leave the visibility to everyone. I always want everyone to have access to messaging me. Hit save. And now our messages app is configured. And when we're customizing any application, this is where we'd come, app setup. You'll see here, you can hover over it, you can change the order. Now, this order doesn't change on your sidebar, but it does change in your client's portal. So now we have messages configured. Let's move on to files. Your Files app lets you upload folders, files, and links. Similar to the Messages app, you can set these file channels up at either company level or client level. If you click the three dots, you'll see here you can create a channel. So again, we might want to create a channel just with Justin here. Now we have that one-on-one file channel created, and here I can click new to upload a file, folder, or link. If we log in to the portal from Justin's perspective, you'll see that he can also now add new file, folder, or link. So again, let's use the example of Justin being our copywriter. We might want to share a website content planning guide as a free resource with Justin. We don't need to send it to the entire company because only Justin is going to be writing the copy. So what we can do is add new, upload our website copy guide, and you'll see that is now added in Justin's file channel. When he logs in, he'll be able to see that in his files channel, and he can always download or preview the file. Now, instances where a company share might be relevant include when we're sending off our final deliverables. In that instance, we might want to upload the entire folder full of their deliverables. So to do that, we'd click plus new, create folder, or upload folder. This time I'm going to create a folder. We'll call this final deliverables, and I can always click in and I can add various resources to keep everything organized. Now, because Justin is part of Last Minute Supplies company, again, when he clicks into the company channel, he'll also be able to access those final deliverables. Now, let's say we want to do a mass file share. Maybe we want to share our updated services, pricing, terms and conditions, or maybe we want to share a free resource like a sourcing images guide. What we can do is click the three dots, select mass file share, choose who we want to send it to. In this case, I'm just going to select all again, and then I would just upload the folder or file. Once that's uploaded, I'm just going to select share, and you'll see that has been sent to all companies in my CRM. Again, we would want to come into App Setup, Files, select Edit, and customize our file settings. So here we can change the name, the icon, and then choose our preferences. Should clients be able to add files, delete files, or update folders, you can select these toggles on or off. For visibility, I'm going to select edit, and instead of visible to everyone, I'm going to select custom visibility this time, and I'm going to say show if, and this time I'm going to say stage does not include community or lead. So I only want to show this to active clients. I'll hit save, and now my files app is configured. If I ever want to delete an app, I can always select disable, but we're going to keep this one for now and move on to contracts. You can send contracts to clients directly within your portal. To do this, you would just select add new contract, and then here you would upload a PDF file to begin. Now, the way I did this was creating a Google Doc first and then leaving spaces where I needed to input signatures and dates, etc. So this is a template. I will rename it to simple website design contract. Now, scrolling down, you'll see that this is just a template created for the purposes of this video. If it was a contract I was sending with clients in real life, I would change things like company name to my specific business name. But for the purposes of this, it works. So you'll see here, we've got this is an agreement between company name and the client. So here I want to pop in the client's company name. And the way I can do that is by coming over to my inputs on the sidebar, and we have client inputs, my inputs, then under advanced, we have these autofill fields. So I want to grab the client's company name and drag it over to this space here, and I'll adjust the size just a little bit so it fits. And so now that's going to populate with the client's company name. Now, if we scroll down, you'll see under project scope, our scope of work and deliverables have this blank space, and that's because it's going to vary depending on client. So again, I'd come over to my right, I'd scroll all the way down, and then under variable inputs, I'm going to grab the text. We have to give it a label, so I'm going to add this as scope of work. I'll make it a little bit bigger. And I'm going to do the exact same thing for deliverables. Grab the text, drag it in here, call it deliverables, and add. Again, I'm going to make this a bit bigger. Now, this is variable inputs, which means you're going to be prompted to fill this in every time you send a new contract, which is a little bit different from having just regular text inputs where you can pre populate that information. If we scroll down a bit further now. And when we reach the agreement acceptance, again, we would want to add the client's company name in here, make it a little bit smaller to fit the line. And then at the bottom, we would add our inputs in again. So for the client, their name, I'm going to grab their full name here. I'll make this a bit longer. We want to grab their company name. We'll go to date under client inputs and we'll add that in here so they can add the date in. And then for signature, we want to go to client inputs and grab the signature block and we'll add that in here. And this is where they're going to be able to sign this document. Now, for our side of things, we want to do the same thing. For our name, we'll select text. Here, I would add my actual name. For company, I'd do the same. I'd grab the text under my inputs and add it in here. Do at Chloe Forbes K for now, just so there's a variance. And then for date, I'm going to go to variable inputs and grab the date block and select this in here, call it date because the date will change depending on who this is being sent to and when. And then for signature, again, I'm going to come up to my inputs, go to signature, add that in here. You'll see I can add my name to create the signature and you could say I agree to be legally bound by this document. I would add my signature in and then hit create template. Now, when it's time to share this contract with a client, I would just click on the three dots, hit share, select who I'm sharing this with, in this case, Justin. I would then add in the variable details, so the scope of work, and then I would add the deliverables here, and then I would select the date to send this contract. And if I hit send contract, it's now sent. We can now see we are waiting for submission from Justin. If we log into Justin's portal, we'll see under contracts, he has that notification. He will also receive an email and now he can review this contract. So he can go through this contract before signing it. You'll see it's now populated with last minute supplies. We haven't added any details. I just added add scope of work and deliverables here, but those would add in here. And then if we scroll down, you'll see we've got all of that key information and all Justin has to do is add in today's date and signature. So he can select start signing, add a date. So we'll insert that and then he will add his name, agree to be legally bound by this document, hit insert, finish, and send. Once it's completed, Justin can view this in here and he can always click to download it for his files as well. On our side, you'll see we've got a notification now to say that a contract has been signed. We've got a timeline of that information and we can also download the contract. If we go to our contracts app, you'll see we have one submission and request here and we can see that Justin has signed it and when it was sent. And we can reuse this contract for other people now. So we can hit share and send it to another client. And one thing to note is I used variable input. So if we click on this, and we edit the template, every time it's going to ask us for the scope of work, all of the deliverables. I could set this up as a standardized template with all of that information pre-populated. And where that comes in handy is if we were using automations. So let's say every time we change the stage in our CRM, it automatically sends them a contract to sign. And that way we wouldn't be required to input any information. It's just going to automatically send to the client. As always, we would want to come into app setup, go to contracts, select edit, and here you could choose if you want to send email notifications with the PDF attachments. I would recommend, especially because it's a contract. And again, I'm going to come down to visibility, select edit, and I'm going to say custom visibility stage does not include, and here I'm going to say community. So we do want to be able to send it to leads before they sign on, but I don't want to send it to my community before I have qualified that person as a lead. So I'm going to hit save. And now contracts is only going to be shown to anyone whose stage is basically lead or onwards. Forms are helpful for collecting client data. Most of us are using forms in some capacity in our business. We've got an example intake form. If I click on the three dots here, I can view the details. John Doe has completed this. If I click in, you'll see that he has added all of his answers to this intake form. We could see if we're waiting for responses from anyone. We're waiting for a response from Jane Doe. If we need to cancel that request, we can just hit cancel. It will ask if we're sure. We can select delete, and she will no longer see that pending form request in her client portal. So there's a few ways we can use forms. We could do intakes or inquiry forms. We can set up brand assessments, customer surveys, or testimonial forms. So we're going to go ahead and build an inquiry form from scratch together so you can see exactly how it works. To do this, we'll click Add New Form. We'll give it a title. So I'm going to call this Project Inquiry Form. We can add a description if we want. I'm going to skip this for now. And then under form visibility, I could choose if all clients see the form or if clients only see it when I send it to them. For an inquiry form, I'm going to select clients can only see it when I send it to them. An example where I'd want all clients to see the form is if I was doing a survey or if I was creating that testimonial form, then I'd want all clients to have access to it. For now, I am just going to select this option, and then we're going to start building out our form. To do that, we're going to click this big plus button, and you'll see you have a number of options to choose from. We're going to start with a title card. I've just added a title and a description, and then I'm going to go ahead and add in my questions. So I'll click the plus icon again, full name. And here you can say if it's required or not. We're going to need email, will be required too. We'll add current website. So let's make this a short answer. Now, this one isn't required because they might not have a website right now. Team size as single select. And here we can add our choices. So we'll do it's just me. And we'll just assume we're working for small businesses. So we'll keep it at that, select required, and then we'll do a long answer for briefly describe your business. Then I've added a multi-select asking if leads know which design experience they're interested in, and they could choose more than one option here. And then we'll just add a few more questions. So I've got, what do you hope to achieve with your new website? Do you have a deadline for your project? And any additional comments and questions. If I want to preview this, I can click this toggle at the top for preview, and you'll see I've got a full preview of the form, and the little asterisk symbolizes the required questions here. I can then hit create, and now if I go to forms, I'll see this is my custom project inquiry form, and once again, to send it to any lead, I would click the three dots, share form, and I can either share the form link with specific clients, or I could select all clients. If I was sending a survey, I would select all clients here. For now, I'm going to stick with my project inquiry, and we'll move on to billing. Billing is where you can send invoices, streamline payments, and automate recurring revenue. Here it's broken down into products, invoices, and subscriptions. To create a product, you just click on this button here. We can give it a name. I'm going to call this one-page website design. We can add a description and an image. We can also set a price. I'm going to select £2,500. I could select if it's one time or if it's recurring. If it was recurring, I can also select the billing frequency. If you're setting up subscription plans, this is a great way to do it. I'm going to select one time. And what's nice about this is, let's say you offer tiers. For example, a really simple one-page website for a mom and pop business is a little bit different from a larger organization. You can select multiple prices here and just add it in. Or if you offer a payment plan, you could select one as recurring and a payment plan for one-time purchase. And then under invoices, this is where you can send an invoice. So you would create an invoice, you would choose who you are sending it to. And again, you could choose company level or client. So I could send this to last minute supplies. When I go to items, I would select the item. So it would be one page website. And you'll see here, I've got the price. But again, I can add a new price if it's specific to this client or company. Hit save. And you can see here, I could add multiple items. I can add tax. And then under payment, we could choose whether we automatically charge the client if they have a payment method on file, or we can notify the client to pay manually. I always prefer this option, and I usually do due after 7 days. Then under manage payment preferences, I can decide who pays the fee on the credit cards. Now, if you are selecting client here, make sure that you include that in your contract so that it's not a nasty surprise for them. I usually just cover it in my fees. I'll hit save. I can add a memo here. I can upload any attachments, and I can always preview this before sending the invoice. So this is what it's going to look like on checkout. This is what it will look like on the invoice. And this is what it's going to look like when Justin receives that email, and he could just click to pay the invoice. Now, because I'm working in a trial account, I have not connected my payout account. If I hop on over to my official portal, I've selected the recipient as this ambiguous CFK, and then I'm just going to select this test product that I've set up as a pound. And then underneath that, we can automatically charge the client because she just so happened to upload her payment method. Again, we're going to select this option, change it to 7 days, make sure that it is set to us. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit send. So again, this is what the invoice is going to look like when received through email. I can select pay invoice. Now, when CFK comes into her portal, she'll see that she has this open invoice. She can select pay and pay the invoice. Once that's completed, you'll see this paid status. Now, you'll also notice that I have this recurring one set up as a test. And again, it just shows this little recurring symbol to let you know that this is an ongoing subscription. And if I click in, you'll see here it's a test subscription and it's billed monthly. So for subscriptions, it works the same way. We can go into products, create a product. This time we'll do monthly maintenance. Add in a description and an image for now. We'll say this is 500, but this time it's recurring monthly. I'll hit create product. That is now created. Again, I could create tiers by adding additional prices. For now, we're going to go to subscriptions, create subscription, select who we want to set this up for. So we'll do last minute supplies. Under items, you'll see here I can add a new item, but I've already set it up as monthly maintenance. So it's going to add all that information in for me. I can hit save. And then under billing schedule, you have some flexibility on the start and the end date. I'm going to select to notify the client, change this to 7 days. And I can again preview it, and it works the same way. They would be sent the invoice and they could just pay that, and their subscription would be activated. The client can then download their invoice or their receipt. Now, as with all of these apps, we would want to go to App Setup, select Edit, and make sure we're happy with our settings. I'm going to change this out so it's only visible to anyone that is not a community member. In other words, active leads and clients. The final default app that we're going to look at is Helpdesk. So this is a built-in support center for your clients. You'll see here you can add articles, and this works a lot like a blog post. You would give the article a title. You can add tags, and then it's a case of just typing out your article. If we select /, we get our commands. So here you can format your text, upload files, embed files, or link out to different places. I've just added an example article and I've embedded a YouTube video. We do have some links in here as well. So I would just hit create, and now that article appears in here, a lot like a built-in blog. If Justin decides to go to our help desk, he'll be able to click in and he can see that article and all the tags down the side. If he clicks in, he'll be able to view that from here. Now, I'm actually going to turn this one off. So to disable any app, you would go to App Setup, scroll down to the application. So in this case, Helpdesk, select Edit. And here I'm going to select Disable. Now that we have all of our core apps configured, it's time to take things a step further by adding in a few of our own custom applications. So if we go to app setup, we'll select add an app, scroll down, and the first app that I want to add is this tasks app that allows me to assign tasks to clients and my team. So we'll select that, we'll select install, we'll change our sidebar icon. So maybe I select this list option. And then under visibility, I'm going to select edit. And this one, I'm going to do custom visibility. And here we'll do stage does not include community, lead, or past client. So essentially, I just want it to be for active clients. We'll hit save. And now we can see we have tasks under our apps. This is going to help us keep projects structured by allowing us to create and assign tasks to team members, clients, or entire companies. So to begin, we're going to hit create task at the top here. We'll give a task a name. So let's say it is complete brand assessment. We can add the details in here. So this is a to-do item. I'm going to assign this to last minute supply, so the whole company. And then due date, I'm going to set for Monday. I'll hit create. Now you'll see here, no tasks are found. That's because at the top, we're under the My Tasks tab. We've got My Tasks, My Team's Tasks, Client Tasks, which is where we're seeing that complete brand assessment, and then a view of all tasks. We can adjust the display on the right to either a list view or a board view, and we could choose if we want to show archive tasks or we want to turn that off. So here under all tasks or client tasks, we're seeing that complete brand assessment. When we come in here, we can see a full timeline of activity, and anybody that has been marked as assigned can leave a comment. Now, I've set this at company level, but I'm going to change this to Justin, and you'll see here that timeline automatically updates. If we come into Justin's portal now, he can then see his to-do list. He can click in, he can add comments, change this to in progress, and then when it's complete, he would just mark it as done. That task notification will disappear. And on our side, we can now see that has been completed. Now, it is a stripped down, really basic task application, but for most of us, that is all we need. We can set up templates by clicking the three dots, selecting Manage Templates. And here you would select Create Template. It works very similarly. You would add a name, description, choose the default status, and then hit Create. And then when you apply it, you would just set an assignee and a due date. The next app that I want to add, if I scroll down, is this client home app. So I'm going to select install. We'll call it home. We'll change the icon. We'll do a little house for this one. Select edit. And for this one, we'll do does not include community or lead. So again, any client does have access to this. Anyone who's not a client does not. We'll select add. Now, if we click on this, you'll see what this does is creates a home page that we can customize for every client by using these autofill fields. And at the top, we have this widget here, a dynamic widget that is going to change depending on the client looking at it. It's going to show them any actions that are outstanding for them to complete. Now, we can go ahead and customize this. I'm going to start by adding my own banner. I'm going to select this one for now. I'll change out the background. Display actions is this little widget, so we can customize it to show what we want to enable. I want to show everything here, and I want that to be turned on. Now I'm going to go ahead and customize the page itself. So under this displays actions, we have this call out here. I just want to take this out. You just do / to bring up your various content blocks that you can add. I am going to add a welcome message. I've customized this to say this is our support hours, Monday to Thursday, Friday to Sunday, unavailable. And then for this, I'm going to click on this drop down and remove this role. And then down here, I'm going to change this to how to use your portal. And I'm not really an emoji girly, so I've just kept this to simple text. We've got our messages, tasks, files, forms, contracts, billings. And you'll see here, we've got two that we have yet set to add. So that's coming up next. I'm going to hit save changes. So if we go to preview mode and we'll view this as Jane Doe, we can see that Jane has one action left to complete. This is all customized for Jane here, and she can select go to forms and complete that form. If we go to Justin, he's completed all his tasks, so nothing is outstanding at the top here. Now, I mentioned tutorials here, so we're going to go to App Setup, add an app, scroll down until I can find YouTube, which is client facing here. I'll select Install. I'll call this Tutorials, choose an icon. We'll choose a lightning bolt for now. Under Setup Type, you can set this up as automatic or manual. Automatic means all clients see the same content. In this case, I'm sharing YouTube tutorial videos, so it makes sense that all clients would see that. But let's say we were connecting Figma to share wireframes. That would be a good example where we'd want to manually connect that content so we can share individual wireframes with each client. Under view type, you can either connect it as an embed, which means you're bringing the content into your portal, or you can add a link, which is just an external link that appears on the portal. But when they click on it, it will click out in a new browser tab. So I'm going to connect as an embed. And here you can see it could be a public URL or iframe. For YouTube, we're going to share the playlist URL that automatically is added. I can select auto size embed and that will resize it. Again, I can adjust the visibility. For now, I'm happy for everyone to see this. So I'm going to select add. And again, that's going to appear on my sidebar now. And Justin can access this too. He can go through the entire playlist and choose the videos he would like to watch. Now, I mentioned that you could create a testimonial form in Forms, but I use Senja to collect testimonials. So I'm going to add an app, and this time I'm going to select embeds and links. I'll call it testimonials. And I'm happy for all clients to see the same thing. I want to connect as an embed, come into my Senja account, hit share on my Squarespace starter kit, and select embed on style. Just copy this snippet, come back to Copilot. I will paste this in. I can take a look at the preview here and I can select add. Coming into Justin's portal to see how this looks. I'm very happy with that. Now we're moving into the more advanced section. Let's say that I want to share a lead magnet through my portal and encourage direct signups with the aim of converting those signups into active leads. One thing I can do is add another application here. This time I'm going to select Canva. I've called this free guide and now I need to embed the code. So I'm going to go to Canva. Here we have my lead magnet. I'm going to click on share and then see all, select embed, mark this as embed, copy the code or the embed link. I'm going to copy the code. I'm going to scroll down, make sure I'm happy with the preview. And then under visibility, it is only for those that are either a community member or a lead. Hit save. Now, if we go into Justin's portal, we'll see that he cannot see this free guide because he is an active client. Now we have our free guide, but I also want to add my services and pricing guide and an option to book an inquiry call so that I could try and upsell those signups. So again, I'm going to come to app setup, add an app, and this time I'm going to select Google Drive. Now I have included this services and pricing guide template for you to use. I'm just using Google Drive to show you another variation. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure our file under share is set to anyone with the link can view. Then what we're going to do is copy the link, open it up in a new tab, click on the three dots, and here you can embed the item. So again, you would just copy the code here, paste it in, make sure you're happy with how it looks. Under visibility, I'm going to select community and leads. And the final app that I'm going to add is a link to book a project inquiry call with me. So I'm going to go to cal.com. That's the platform I use. I'm going to paste my inquiry call calendar in here. So it's just a simple link. And again, I'm going to mark the stage as community or lead. So I'm going to hit save. And the next thing I'm going to do is just come into settings and go to general and ensure that I allow client user direct sign up because we want clients to sign up and be able to access this. So I'm just going to copy this link and I've just created a really simple landing page and this button links out to my portal sign up. Now, the final step in this process is to add in a couple automations. We can set up simple two-step automations in Copilot. To do that, you click the Automations tab here and then select Create a Workflow. Now you'll see here we have some quick start options. We're going to start from scratch. And for our triggers, we're going to say client logs in for the first time. And under client creation method, we're going to change this to direct sign up. So we're specifically looking at anyone who first signs up through our website. And then we're going to add an action, and that is going to be to update the client. And here we want to update the stage. And here you can replace with or add. I'm going to select add, and I'm going to mark it as community. So we'll hit publish now, and we can see that is now active. Now, we could also add a secondary workflow here that says start from scratch when the client is updated. So, when the client is then updated to a community member, we can then send them a message. So, here we're going to send a message. Thank you for signing up. You can access your free guide on the sidebar. You'll also find our pricing guide and a link to book our inquiry call. So, I'm going to hit publish. And so now we have everything set up to offer our free lead magnet. Now, I could get creative with these automations. There's lots of different options. So I could actually assign a form to them. I could have them marked as lead magnet, as the lead source. I could do all kinds of creative stuff. This is just one way we can use automations, and it will allow us to test our free lead magnet. So now we're going to come back to the sign up page. I'm going to sign up. To select next, it's going to ask for my full name and the company is optional. So we'll do Ella and Rising Solutions. Hit sign up. Now you'll see here Ella's client portal experience is a little bit different. We have her welcome message here, our free guide that she can go through, our pricing guide, a link to book an inquiry call, an option to share a testimonial, and she can view all of our YouTube tutorials as well. That was Ella's portal. Now, if we come back into Justin's portal, you'll see it looks quite different because Justin is an active client. He does not have the free lead magnet, but he does have access to home, messages, files, contracts, forms, billings, tutorials, and share a testimonial. And this is the magic of Copilot. You can create one portal that delivers a completely unique experience to each individual client or potential client. At this point in the video, we have a fully functioning client management system with everything that we need to streamline our interactions, automate our workflows, delegate work out when needed, and create this seamless, customized experience for our various clients. We can do it in this one easy to manage space, and with Copilot's built in security measures, we can feel confident that our data and client information is secure. The final step is adding in your real clients and selecting a Copilot plan that best suits your needs. To select a plan, we'll head to Settings, Plans, and then check out the options available to us. Now, Copilot doesn't offer a free tier, they do offer a free trial. And pricing varies based on team size, scalability needs, and whether you want a white label solution. Now, whenever I'm deciding if any tool is a good fit for me, I like to remind myself that I have two key priorities in business: to sign new clients and to manage clients perfectly. Ultimately, the question that I'm asking is, does this tool help me accomplish that? If you have a client management solution that is working for you, that is amazing. But if you've reached this point in the video, there's a good chance you're running into some of those friction points and limitations. Copilot might be the secure, scalable, and customizable client portal solution for you. And the free trial is a great way to test this out. To help you get started, we do have that free Copilot starter kit. You can access that through the link in the description. If you have any questions, tutorial requests, or feedback, feel free to leave a comment. I'll meet you there. I love to help where I can. And thank you again to Copilot for sponsoring today's video.